Welcome back, everyone, to is this two or three? Lionel and Jamie meets boy meets world. We're gonna have fun here. Don't worry about it.
Mini Matters, a miniature painting podcast.
I think I left the black there too long. That's not my fault. I think that doesn't matter. Anyway, Lionel, how you doing?
Yeah, bit under the weather, so I apologise because during this cast I'm going to be suckling a lot of cough sweets, and I might have the odd cough, but I'm gonna power through. But there might be less talking from me this week, which some viewers might find a good thing.
Or I was going to say distressing. Classic. Some viewers might find anyway. So why are you ill? Just working too hard, painting too much?
I think it's a generally rundown. So I think I've got a normal cold anyway and operate in the background, but my youngest, my 3-year-old, is still in the bed with my wife and myself. So she's getting bigger and starfishing, when she sleeps. So that's interrupting my sleep. And then my second youngest, who is 7, had a nightmare last night, came down at 2 a.m.
Shit.
So that woke me up again. And then I set my alarm for 6:30 to go training in the morning before I start work.
Yeah.
So I kind of woke up before the alarm, when you anticipate the alarm going off, but it hasn't. So I woke up at 6 a.m. The alarm then went off at 6:30. I then went down the boxing gym and did 40 minutes of bag work. So my body
Did you feel rough in the morning, or you only just feeling rough now?
I felt tired, and I just assumed it was because I had a rough night.
Yeah.
And mostly it's tiredness that's operating.
Yeah.
So I've got a bit of a cough. It's a cold. It's not the other thing.
Shall not be mentioned.
Yeah. So even my camera's got it. So it's mostly tiredness. So I just need a good night's sleep, basically, and hopefully my body will rebuild. Plus, obviously, with summer coming up, I'm watching my diet a bit more. So I'm in a calorie deficit. So my body's getting it from all ends. So yeah. The filter that you put on is doing me favors tonight. Put it that way.
So you're ruining that third wall, or people are going to work it out. They might not even know what people know what filters are now, don't they?
People know what filters are.
Yeah, they got phones and stuff. I don't know how you do it. I came up with this idea, that I was going to do intermittent fasting. And I normally do I don't normally have breakfast. And then I eat at 1 or something or 2. But the one day I decided to do it officially. So I do that, and I've done that, I don't know, 5 years without really thinking about it. The one day I got to 11, and I broke out in sweats because I was so hungry. I was like,
at 11.
I was starving. Yeah, I was I couldn't.
You can't even count that. Yeah, so I
well, that's what I'm saying.
I wait till about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is how I can do it normally when I don't put a name on it. So I don't know how you can. Basically, I don't think I could get up early, go to the gym, and then be ill, and then do all that shit, and do a full day's work, and then do a cast. It's commitment.
You know what? You'll know as well. It's parenthood. So basically, once you have kids, you didn't know what work was until you had kids, and then you just have to. Yeah. There is no. I'm too tired today. I'm not going to make dinner for the kids. I'm too tired today. I'm not going to bathe it. You've just got to get it done, haven't you?
It's annoying.
And you just change. You just become an attitude where the cast tonight, the old me would have probably gone, I'm too tired to do it. But the
parent.
As a parent, you think it's just another thing. That's part of my day that I've got to get done before I can put my feet up. So yeah, it's just a mindset, really.
Yeah, but you've got 3 in it, so I still do think that 1 is easy. Obviously, people who struggle with 1 will be like, "You fucking dick," but I do think that in my head, what 1 is it's relatively okay.
It's the adult to child
tag team. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Exactly, it's the adult to child ratio. So I remember with my first, I just spent hours watching her because you just have so much time.
Yeah.
Whereas now with 3, there's always something kicking off. You don't have 5 minutes until they go down for the night.
Yeah.
And the youngest doesn't go down till about 10:30. And then the other one is an early riser. So our day realistically starts about 6:30, and that's a weekend as well. And then the last one doesn't go down to 10:30. So, yeah, we look back when we just had one and thought it was easy.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like.
That's how I think. In my head, this is not really a challenge.
But
This is,
that's yeah. I'm not playing it down.
yeah, well, I
One
am.
can be hard, but by comparison,
Yeah, right, yeah.
when I look back with three, I just think one was a cakewalk.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you want to be PC and not hurt people's feelings, in theory, you could go to, if you had 6 now, you'd be like 3 was a bloody walk in the park.
Yeah.
So it's all.
Yeah, I just don't understand those families
who have 6.
Fair, full respect to them, full respect, and sometimes when it comes to trust, I love my kids dearly. Obviously, my world is shaking. But sometimes you've got to put it into perspective. This whole sometimes people are like, "Oh, kids are the best thing. You should all have kids," and they are amazing. They are the best part of my life. But Christ, they're hard work as well.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. It's not like they're the best things in your life and they're forever the best thing in your life. At certain points, you're like, "Oh, you are a little dickhead." The love is still there. That never goes away.
Yeah.
But the frustrations, I think, is probably a nice way of saying it.
There's things, I suppose it's like an ex. There's things where in the morning you'll find something that they do really endearing. Like there's a new character trait that comes out, particularly with our youngest, a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
But by the time you hit 11 o'clock and she's doing it, it stops being cute. It's get to bed.
Yeah.
So it's that. It's that. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. Once you've opened Pandora's box with kids, there's no going back, and you wouldn't want to go back either because.
No, well, yeah, that would be 100 times worse. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing we had this weekend was, for the first time, we had a child-free weekend in 3 years. Because
how'd you manage that, parents?
They went back to Peterborough. They went back to my parents. And it was amazing. My wife and I had an amazing weekend. But by the end of it, we were ready.
I miss the kids, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can't. Sometimes you can't wait to be free of them, and then the first topic of conversation when you are free of them is the kids.
Yeah.
So it's
obviously, yeah. I think it's funny though because then you miss them when you're not with them, and then when you're with them after about 20 minutes, you're like, oh, I could do with a little break right now, even though you're fully committed. But I'm conscious we've spent 7 minutes talking about kids, and we're on a tight ship today because Lionel is going to struggle if we carry on for too long.
I don't know if I've said it already, but I apologise as well if I've got a bit of a cough. Yeah. I've got some cough sweets here, but if it goes too bad, I'll try and mute the mic. But yeah.
Yeah, right. So here we go. Can I remember the buttons? It's not even been that long. Right, 2 galleries. There you go. Oh, right. Well, we're in on this straight away. I didn't want to start with this, but I've given the people what they definitely didn't know they didn't want. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, these are the finished products from Juan Diaz, the master from Games Workshop, the guy who did the Forge World Avatar, which is probably his most well-known thing that you'll know anyway. And we've built up a beautiful budding relationship, and these are the conversions he's been doing for me, and I have to say they've exceeded expectation. Very similar to the green that he did, the Farseer, but half the price for 5 models. And they're different enough when you've been so desperate for so long for more Elder of that ilk. It's a very, very nice situation to be in, actually, because he does the style I like. He did models, like he did the original metal. That Elder Guardian is his. So he can obviously sculpt in the style I like because he's the original fucking sculptor. So this is a grenade, by the way, that he has, like a remote detonation. I was tempted to write. It's just so much like the Elder from '99. So it's a dream. It's a dream come true.
Are these going to be part of that big retro display you're doing, or is this a squad for Kill Team? Or because I've noticed you've got 5.
Ah, that's a great idea, though, Lionel. I don't know if you can do that. That would be cool. Basically, in theory, the only one that is part of the Elder project is the one on the right.
Right. Okay.
So, and the reason for that is, do you not recognise that Eldrad then?
Oh, but
you've got to be a bit of an Elder fan to know him, to be honest. Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
include it.
I'm
Okay.
not going to. I'm not going to recognise. So it's me.
All right, hold on. Right, so you may well recognise him. So this is the third edition Elder Codex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this little guy here that you see has been a dream of mine since then, but it's a conversion, which is it's interesting because back then they didn't include. Back then they didn't mind putting conversions in, but now they just don't. They don't put conversions in codexes because obviously they don't sell it. I don't know. I think they should personally. I don't even know what that cut is on my face. So basically, he was like, "Is there anything you want? Anything you need?" And I was like, "Well, now that you mention it, like, I'd love that code, that Farseer." So, him being the genius that he is, he has done one for me, and seriously, like, I've wanted this. I'm not even joking. I've wanted that model for so long, since '99, and to have someone just come along and sculpt it at that quality is,
No, you are very lucky.
yeah, it's brilliant. So now I need to paint it and do it justice.
I've got to say, just seeing that page of White Dwarf just took me back to my childhood.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's pretty. It's pretty special. I think, like the whole feeling this just looking it gives me, and this is where the whole like desire to do. This is basically the tabletop I want to recreate, but on a very very small scale. So yeah. Basically that's that, and that is what Juan has given me the dream, and then obviously just like little ones that he did himself.
That's great and all, but have you got any progress pictures of your painting? Or is that something that you're going to cover on the Hutba show?
Oh, well, that's another thing I wanted to talk about the Hutba show. Like, hold on, like, what is acceptable to put on the Hutba show? Like, obviously, this sounds like it's an off-air conversation, but basically, I'm kind of like, I feel a little bit like conflicted. Like, what is content? Like, all I really am motivated to do at the moment is, like almost like blog style, like stuff that's not interesting to anyone, but is interesting to me because that's what I'm doing. And I'm like, can I just like I could go through my loft, I could go through some 3-ups, I could do like this painting or organizing. Like basically, I used to just go through people's videos and images and talk about them, right? And now I'm like, now I'm not. Yeah, well, that's it. Let's hear what people think. I don't
out to what they want to see in the comments.
Like the 4 people that, yeah, basically it's like, do I put content on of stuff that I'm just doing in the week, right? Which is like one thing, and that's all I really care about. So it's like,
I mean, I definitely want to look at your. This is oh, there you go. I was about to say,
that's all I've painted.
Show me.
Well, no, sorry, that's the only photo I've got of what I've painted. Okay, obviously, I've finished the 4 jet bikes or the 3 jet bikes and the Shrieker cannon, and then I've got the rest of the War Walker. That's like basically the highlighting needs doing. That's all that really needs doing. And I'm trying to copy.
The commissions and the sculpts and the greens are interesting to see, but for me personally, myself, I'm more interested in seeing you putting paint on those things, and seeing your progress, because I'm willing you, because obviously I don't want to go into it too much because obviously I've got some other bits to cover, but the continuous discussion we have is you painting more. And I kind of I'm willing you to complete this project and hit your deadline this year and get that done. Yeah. And I feel the only way it's going to happen is if you come to each fortnightly show with pictures of what you've completed. It'd be interesting to just have a discussion about it as well.
Yeah, it gives us something to
see how it goes. And if you're willing to do that, then I'll throw in some pieces I'm working on. And
yeah, could have a little painter's corner every week.
You can rip into me as well if it's a kind of you don't want to be out there by yourself. But
no, I don't mind.
I'm genuinely willing you to complete it because I think it'd be so good for your motivation in painting, just getting something done, because you've never really got back on it, have you, in 2 years?
Not really. No, this is the first time well, that leads me on to the next one then quickly. I can boss through my stuff quite quickly. That leads me on to where my kind of current life is taking me, which is these are all things I've sold in the last like 7 days. and like I've started selling a lot, and it's actually quite fun, especially coming from like an addict who was totally addicted to buying everything. Now I'm getting not quite addicted, but it's genuinely fun to sell.
More product on your page than your average Games Workshop store there.
It'd be funny if there was something highly embarrassing that I'd sold, or I'd be like, "Oop." So yeah, I've sold a fair bit. Obviously, this is going back to December, so that doesn't count. But like since January there from this one, and I got a lot more for sale as well. So it's like, yeah, like before this selling thing, I was doing I was painting a lot more, and now I've started selling. So I need to find a. It's just from selling your stuff. Like I'm selling like maybe 5 things a day. I don't know if that's an exaggeration. The last 2 days I've sold, and so it takes up quite a lot of time of boxing it, packaging it, putting the labels on and stuff. But yeah, I've still found time to do my War Walker, and hopefully I'll have that finished then by next. Like I should have that finished by next. That's a commitment, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
by next week, I think that's a reasonable thing to. Hold on, I need that open. There you go, frozen. There you go. So we can. Oh, we're getting all my stuff out of the way first, are we? Let's do this one first. There you go.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about firstly, primarily the paint job. So this is the box art for the White Ghost, which was a limited edition piece created by In Motions Creations, and there is a group of people behind that company, but the one that you and I know is David Basilisk. He was the kind of guy who's part of the team, but it's not his company alone. I think there's a couple of others who do it with him. And apologies.
It was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
Was it a Kickstarter? I didn't realize it was a Kickstarter.
Pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure I bought in it. So
oh, did you?
I bought the Wizard. Yeah.
Well, the one when I've checked on it, it's available on their online shop, but it's limited to 200 pieces.
Yeah. Right. I didn't necessarily mean this specific model. Just.
Oh, you meant the original line? Yeah.
Motions, yeah.
Of course, yeah. That one, the Dungeoneer quest sort of stuff. Yeah. So this piece, the original artwork was designed by an individual who does a lot of Magic the Gathering, and as a result, there's some strong original artwork to work from. But you and I have discussed this in the past. When we look at this stuff to cover in the show, I get desensitized to a lot of pro box arts now, because you expect a certain level, and then you're just used to seeing it. And it's very rare for a box art to jump out and grab you, and it hasn't done for months for me. But this one by Mark, when I saw it, it was a kind of intake of breath moment, thinking, "Wow, this is amazing." Because once again, I personally swing more towards the saturated pieces, and Mark uses a very desaturated palette. So normally he wouldn't, for that reason, he wouldn't be on radar. But he's the one artist who uses a desaturated palette, who all of his work I love. But this piece blew me away. And like I said, it's got a very canvassy, painterly quality to it, where sometimes you look at it and think,
more, isn't he?
Yeah, sometimes you look at it and you think it looks like a 2D piece of art, the way he's rendered it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it really. What's your thoughts on it?
I think what's sad in a way for me is that maybe I cut myself with the scalpel. Is these guys that there's probably like 5 of them or something, maybe 3, 4, like are now Mark, Aroba, and that guy who works for, I think it's Scale or someone else. It's funny, I don't know his name, but
are you talking about Ruben?
Yeah, Ruben. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like these guys who, because they're so good now, now it's not the right word, but like I expect it from them. So obviously, like this is, it makes it sound so negative, and that I'm not impressed. I am really impressed, but there's such a level above other people, if that makes sense. that their work. I suppose. Fuck the other guy as well, who I know really well and talk to all the time. He's not going to check the show anyway. I think it's amazing, and I do. I'm just always surprised, but their level is always consistently good, and they're always consistently doing themselves over, if that makes sense. They're always pushing the boat out, basically, and it seems like they're consistently just getting better. Yeah, I think everything about it works. I think the armor particularly is what I'm like most impressed with.
I mean, he's worked very closely to the original concept art, so he's lifted a lot of the tones
I haven't seen it. Yeah, okay.
And the rendering from there. But yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't normally be putting Mark's box arts on here because we'll be here every week because his box arts are amazing. But this actually stood out, knowing it's one of Mark's pieces. It's still a standout piece for me, and I still can't quite put my finger on why.
It's almost like a realism in a weird way, but in another way, not. I guess it's just a good new. Because like his style it's been the same, right, for a while. Because it's him, he's obviously, but at the same time, it's becoming a lot more refined. And he is bringing saturation in, because before I think he was really desaturated, like 5 years ago, and then I think he had this like mini saturation phase, and now I feel like he's in between the two.
I still I still think this is more towards a desaturated.
It is definitely desaturated. There's no I more meant that there is some saturated parts in it. The skull on the floor but yeah, it is still desaturated. And also I think the tone of what you want for this scene is desaturated. Seems like it's nighttime. Seems like he's, I don't know, hunting some people or things. Also I know Victor as well. He sculpted me a sculpt that we've got but we can't release because of some annoying reasons. But we've got like this really nice sculpt that we've had now for like 18 months. But we're just not allowed to release it. We were just waiting. But yeah, I actually think the sculpt's great, and I think the paint job's great.
Yeah. And like I said, if you want to, it is limited to 200 units. I don't know how many units are left. As of checking this just before going on the cast, it was still available at the shop. Retails at €65, including tax and delivery. So in our money, that's about £55 for a 75mm, which I think is very reasonably priced.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in getting it, head over to In Motion Creations and check it out. Pick it up.
Yep. Buy it for a friend.
It's one of those few, isn't it, where the box art makes you want to buy the model, but then at the same time can be disheartening because there's no way you can recreate that box art. So.
No, I've given up on. I think that is possibly part of a reason why I don't know, given up such a negative word, but part of the reason why I've stopped trying to chase that dream so hard and go for my dream that I've always had before, which is the Elder stuff. Like, I think we in my head I pushed it quite hard to learn, and then the last like 6 months of trying to learn, I just couldn't learn because I wasn't either trying hard enough or I just couldn't get the basic things. And I think it just in a way, in a subtle way, broke me, but not in such a negative way. More like I can't be bothered to put the effort in to get there. So I'm just going to do what I've always wanted to do already, which is paint Elder. Because I've had that dream, as it were, for like
but
7 years.
But also it's quite intense as well. So maybe you just need some time. Like I said, I've enjoyed just doing the gaming tabletop sort of stuff, and I'm still trying to push that as much as I can. But it's easy. I spend a week on a model, a week's worth of sessions on a model, and then it's off to the next one. I think as long as you're still doing something, still using your brush, it's fine. I don't think you can learn that intensely over.
Yeah, because it was quite intense, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I wouldn't write it off. I think you need to go through this Elder thing. hopefully you'll have. I keep saying this. Hopefully you'll have that finished display at the end of the year, and you think, you know what, I'm ready. I'm ready now to do some more intense training, and I've got that bit out of my system. So I'm hoping it's going to have a domino effect for you.
Sounds like my dad on my wedding day. He's like, "Look, what happened on the stag? It's out your system now. Don't worry about it. Just carry on, and don't ever mention it." That didn't happen, but it's definitely happened in films. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how I can get this done in a year, the whole project, but I can definitely get one army done in a year. And I think if I can do that, then it will be a big milestone, and stays fun. I think that's the important thing.
Yeah,
stays fun. Yeah. I'm currently sorting through all my GW paints, and that was what I was potentially going to make a video from. GW paints on me working out which ones to keep. But as a prime example of, do anyone want to see it? Like, it's quite a boring subject when you think about it. A bloke going through his paints.
It's difficult to ask my opinion because we have quite polarized opinions generally, I think, when it comes to models, particularly when it comes to Old Hammer. I fully accept there's a massive loyal following, but I'll look at that White Dwarf page and think, oh, that takes me back to my childhood. Good times, but it doesn't make me want to then revisit it and buy those old models. And so that, I suppose, with that, we might as well go to the Avatar. Should we? If we're talking about polarized decisions.
Yeah. Go on then. Hold on. Fucking Avatar, eh? Hold on. Can I get my webcam working? I think the webcam. Hold on. I'm going to. Okay, right. Yeah, sack that off. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people have spoken about it. I'm still on the fence of whether I should do an individual video and just have a good old bitch. Oh, look, they've actually done new artwork for the Avatar. Fucking hell, I've not seen that before. Is it? Ooh. Is it good? I don't know, mate. I mean, it does look like an Avatar. His head's a bit flat, and his cone, I feel like he should have a more prominent face. He doesn't look angry either, does he? His mouth's too small to be angry.
He doesn't look passive, Jamie.
It looks like he's wearing a tin hat. Right, anyway. No offense if the original artist is looking. Okay, wow. Fuck that. Oh, God, look at them. Oh, Christ.
You know what? You guys are complaining because it's been 20 years till you get some new models. I guarantee Games Workshop watching this and going, next time they can wait 30 years after all this.
Just do it better. Oh no! Wait! Right, I've got an example, a better example. Hold on. Hold on. It's worth it. Right, artwork, Elder. This is what I think they should have looked like. Dark Reapers. Shit, I didn't save it there. Okay. Hold on more. Hold on longer. I had him. I had it there already. Okay, wait. Oh shit. It's good TV. This. It's funny also because I could have just paused it. Right, books. Okay.
On a personal note, while you're looking for that, I'm really glad that this is the last Elder release because I don't think I could have dealt with another 2 weeks of you falling apart.
Well, apparently they are doing another release. They've got.
Are they?
They've got like 3 or 4 secret releases coming out. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I don't know if I can go through this again with you.
Right. It's just so obvious though, isn't it? Hold on. Okay, you ready? This is what they should have fucking looked like. Just admit that looks better.
Yeah, it looks good, but
something along that lines. Yeah, it's a close up, but hold on. Let's just do a side by side of what these little guys look like. No, you can't zoom in on the video. Oh, fuck off! Look at that model. I don't want to go into a Bixen session liner because it's boring. It is boring, but just look at that head.
I know. Oh, my camera's gone as well. My camera's gone. Forget this. No, and also we covered the Dark Reapers, didn't we?
Yeah, I know, but I forgot about this artwork. I just wanted to show you, like,
it's a nice piece of artwork.
Why do they not have any? Why do they look? Right. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. I don't want a bit. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Right. So the Avatar. Now. Yeah. Go on.
You go. I think this is more therapy for you. You go
on. Oh, fucking hell! Just like you saw the video, the image I edited, didn't you? Hold on.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! I'm gonna have to get that out again, aren't I?
Cover the main points you want to cover because actually,
Yeah.
There are a couple. I agree with you on a
Yeah.
couple of them.
Okay.
I actually do agree with you from an objective point of view. I do agree with you.
So
and then
this
there's points where you descended into madness,
this is
where
what the
we
hell?
kind of diverge again.
This is what I mocked up, right? Like as soon
Yeah,
as I saw it, I was like, this is bollocks. So I quickly
I
put this
agree.
together. Yeah.
I agree.
Like the fire is just it's an insult, actually. I don't think it's optional. They haven't come out and said it is optional. They never normally make them optional, but I really hope they're optional for everyone involved. Because why not? And then the blood, he's called the Bloody Hand of God. His hand is meant to be permanently bleeding. Why is the blood coming down from his guard? That's one thing, but that actually isn't important. It's the blood looks crap. It looks like boiled, I don't know, like Play-Doh or something. So do better blood, don't have fire. That's it, really. So that was what I came up with.
Okay.
And when I look at this model, I don't hate it. I think the pose is a little bit static. It's not really representative of. He's just holding up his hand. I feel like anyway, Forge World did the dynamic pose. I'd like a slightly different pose. But yeah, I actually don't think this is a terrible model. There's small things on it I'd change as an Elder fan.
That's high praise for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw this.
Don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's probably the highest praise you've given.
Yeah.
Look, there's 2 points I want to make. I do agree with what you've said about the flames. Your Photoshop there is better. And as fun as it is to disagree with you and also aligning with you, I agree with you. But I also have to think about, from a painter's point of view, the one that you've got there is better for a painter who enjoys painting, who can probably render OSL better without the need of the flames, who can probably use resin effects in order to get better blood. However, from a mass production point of view, for your average gamer who may be using, GW contrast paints, who may be more of a basic painter, they're going to want those elements on there. Because
but they won't look good though.
and those people who want to paint 3D flames and probably can't do OSL that well, and who can't use resin or the water effects in order to do real blood, is a great percentage of the audience.
Yeah, I mean,
about
I couldn't do that.
About 20% of the painters out there can do decent OSL, can use resin and water effects to do the kind of avatar that you would be able to achieve from your render. However, the mass gaming audience, which is who this is aimed at, this is aimed for people as a piece to use on the gaming board, will benefit from those molded flames and will benefit from that molded blood to paint.
Yeah.
And that's how you sit on the fence, Jamie.
I get what you're saying, but I just don't think it looks better.
Points, yeah.
Basically.
Sorry?
I don't think that it would ever look better with a badly painted fire or even a well painted fire. I don't think you need a fire. Anyway. I know it is boring for everyone, and I think your points are valid. Yeah. And they wouldn't do it if people didn't like it. That's my guess.
I agree. I'm not going to go into the optional heads because then I'm going to become too much like you.
Okay, just a quick one though from me. Roman Empire soldier on the left. And
I don't get the optional heads.
Some deity.
As much as I like to take a more objective stance than you do, I don't get.
Yeah.
And like I said, unless the narrative change or laws change, I don't understand what these optional heads are. And that's what I'm going to go with. I do like the original one. I think the weapon options are nice.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
that. Yeah. If I picked it up, I would try to take the flames off. But other than that, I think it's a solid model. I think it's a solid piece.
Now, also, what's interesting is the paint job. It means they've magnetized the head. If I'm correct in understanding, because the paint job is exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah, they won't have painted 3 versions.
Yeah. I did. I mean, it wasn't that hard to know, but I did call out that it was a sword, a spear, and an axe. I'm not a super fan. This, we'll be quick here. It's rubbish, in my opinion. That's it. That's all I want to say on it. It's like a manga WoW kind of character. I don't really
You
get
love
it.
manga though, Jamie.
Not in
It's
fucking
combining your
Warhammer, I
two
don't.
it's combining your two favorite things, manga and Eldar.
And all
It
it's
should
done
be
is
a home run for
bastardise
you.
both. I think I'd love to know if people like it, and I know some people who do like it, and I've told them that I'm not friends with them anymore. Paint job's
Wow.
actually, honestly, the paint job's quite good.
Yeah, it's good.
That is
I
like a really
don't.
good paint job.
actually think one thing I have to say, the paint jobs throughout,
Yeah,
I
they're
really
decent, aren't
liked,
they? Yeah.
and like heavy metal, are good painters. But obviously they render it differently, and we're not going to go into this video because it's too long. But they render it in the GW style and not the kind of
This is a bit of a little bit away from the GW stuff.
That's what I think. And like the Guardians as well. The Guardians I thought were really nice. Those red Guardians. But anyway,
I wonder if they got a contractor in to do this paint job.
Sorry, no, heavy metal. All this. Why? They got an in-house team?
It's just so different from what they always do.
Trying new stuff. I think I don't mind it from mid thigh up. The only bit I don't like is why he's straddling the two rocks like that.
That's what he had to do, baby.
And the rock, I just don't. It's almost like they're taking the Mickey out of the foot on rock thing. Like you thought foot on rock was bad.
Yeah,
this is how bad foot on rock can go.
We're gonna up this.
This is how bad foot on rock can go. So we'll just be thankful for the normal foot on rock to get, because I think had that been more for traditional foot placement, even flat on the ground, straighter, or one leg up on a piece of rock, it would have doubled how good that model is. So I actually like the model, but I just don't like the stance. And I think the feet placement on that mount is a very unusual. There seems to be like a surfing theme.
Yeah,
on these
really
new
weird.
Eldar, where they all look like they're surfing on rocks. And I think somebody else raised, and I do see that sometimes when you look at that, if you look at it quickly, you can mistake that for something from the Undead Army from Age of Sigmar if you didn't see the gun, as opposed to moving.
Yeah, Eldar. Yeah, that's what I don't really understand. And I guess this is me just thinking out loud. I don't really understand why he's so thin. He doesn't look.
Jamie.
This is good. Morgan Ra's like, in fact, you can't see the artwork. Like he's a massive unit. Which is why it's surprising that they've.
But lore wise, he's still an Eldar, isn't he? Beefed up Eldar is still going to be very.
Well, in the lore, he's a freak. And the armor is where he gets most of his size from. So he's not like a normal Eldar. He's not like a lithe, fleet of foot Eldar. He's just this big hulk of a fucking unit that just boshes shit down. Like that guy can't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Right, I haven't seen the back. Fucking hell, it's even worse. Nothing wrong with it. But at least they're having fun. These I can't stand. Obviously. What they've done is they've taken the jet bike that they did for the Rangers, right?
I've not studied it that closely.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't want to look. Yeah, cool. Right, there, job done. Look at that. That's the avatar of
No, they were right to retire that. They were
well. How could they? I mean, it's pathetic actually in a funny way. People have had a go at me, and softly, and not that bad, saying that it's not their fault. But like, why is this so old? 1993, and there was a model from 1993. The fact that you could still buy this on Games Workshop is pretty funny.
I can't understand why they were so hesitant in releasing a new Avatar, Jamie, because it's been a rapturous reception so far, hasn't it?
But they've had multiple.
Guaranteed.
Also, I suppose they'd.
It's going to be another 30 years before you guys get anything new after some of the complaining that's been going on.
Well, I mean, admittedly, it's not been great. Right, let's go on to more positive things.
Okay, so we're GW again. The reason I wanted to talk about these is it's more aligned to my own interests. So obviously, I've mentioned it before. I've got 3 young daughters, Jamie. 2 of them are of an age now where they're starting to show an interest in painting and gaming, and that's why these little intro games that they started placing in Barnes and Noble in America and in a game here in the UK are of interest to me. So they're about 45 to 50 pound, and they're meant to be entry level games to more substantive bigger ones. So they've announced over the last couple of days 3 new ones. The first one is Blitz Bowl. So at the moment, the only 2 game systems I am playing is the Marvel Crisis Protocol and Blood Bowl. And I'm really enjoying Blood Bowl because Blood Bowl is still the original the rule set. In fact, it's one of the best rule sets they've ever written, and it still works today. And it's a really enjoyable game. And then recently they've added to it with Dungeon Bowl, where they've combined that element. What Blitz Bowl is effectively a small 6-a-side version of the game. And you get two teams in there, a human team and a Skaven team. But it's quicker mechanics. It's designed to be played in under an hour. Simpler mechanics using cards to show you where your rules are. So there's no rule sets. You've got all your stats on your cards. And obviously with it being a smaller pitch, in theory, you can get up and down it a lot quicker. So it's designed as an entry level. But once again, if you've got a young child that you want to do some gaming with, you want to give them some miniatures to paint without spending a fortune, then I think this is perfect entry. And I think I'll probably be picking this up for my daughters because they've shown an interest, and I don't really want to be getting them Blood Bowl teams because obviously, well, there's the time to put them together, to glue them and all that stuff, and paint them so they can have.
And it's just 2-player, isn't it? You can't. I think I saw it.
Just 2-player, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So that's the first one. The second one, further down, is called Warhammer Quest Lost Relics.
Oh, what's that?
Yep. Yeah. Warhammer Quest Lost Relics, and that's meant to be an entry game to get you into Warhammer Quest, which has obviously had 3 incarnations now. And on this one, you can play one of 4 Stormcast Eternals. There's no enemies. It's basically a maze. And the idea is you can either play solo or you can play cooperatively. And the idea is that you're meant to navigate yourself out of that maze where there's a maze master trying to stop you. So I don't know how the mechanics are. It's going to be cards, but I don't know what kind of obstacles you're going to have. But you can see there's tiny dungeon board tiles. So effectively, it's an intro game to a dungeon crawler. Once again, there's no official price mark on it, but I expect it to be about 45 to 50 pound. And once again, that's another one that you can pick up.
It's good. It's good money for them as well. I don't know how the sales will go, but when you think it's just 5 models and the rest is cards, the overheads are actually quite low.
And also, no new models. They're all they're all old models. They're all models that they've already got cast. So they've just cast them.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, they've just produced them in blue. So I believe those are in. I forget the name, but the other game, Shadow Spire, whatever that system.
Silver Tower.
Is it Silver Tower? I don't. Yeah. Anyway, it's already in the main range. You can already pick them up. So
in other words,
there's no extra costing. So, like you said, it's just the card. And likewise, the models in the first one, Blitz Bowl, are just half the models from the full size teams that you would get. So those humans exist, and those Skaven already exist. They've just put them in different coloured plastic.
It's the manpower for the rules and the play testing, I guess, basically. So yeah, it's low overheads. Yeah, that's quite cool.
Yeah, and I don't think the rules will be too dissimilar because the idea is it's meant to be a gateway to get you into the main game. Yeah. And then the final one is Combat Arena Clash of Champions. I believe this is the 3rd incarnation of Combat Arena, where they've had, and effectively you get 4 warriors and you're meant to fight each other. It's just that, it's gladiatorial. The models where the limited edition heroes are released in, I believe it was Japan, where you have blind buys, increased blind buys. So they're those, and you'll get 4. I think there's a Necron, a Space Marine, a Chaos Space Marine. I can't remember what the other one is. And there's stat cards and a card system there. So they're all designed to be played within 45 minutes.
Yep. I might try these out. And honestly, I'll probably this one, because I haven't played any Games Workshop games in, like whatever it's 20 years. And my neighbours, there's 4 of us in total. And we keep saying we're going to do board games.
Your neighbours?
Yeah. Yeah, they're literally across the 2 flats, like 1 meter
Of
distance.
course.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that could be quite
I've
cool.
got to say, Blood Bowl is still fantastic. It
Yeah.
really is a good game. The game, and like I said, you've got 11 players that you need to paint, so you can take your time. And then the
Yeah.
one that we're looking at jumping in this year, my friend and myself, is Necromunda, because
Mhm.
I played that again as a youngster, and from what I understand, the rule mechanics are pretty much the same. It's quite, and
Mm.
once again, it's a skirmish game. You're only painting
And
11.
you don't want to buy a sealed copy from the original, do you?
No, I don't, Jim.
No, I wouldn't want to say that
Well, you've
either.
got a copy, have you?
Yeah, big time.
You know me. I like the new. So I
Yeah,
want
I
the new
know, it
scenery
makes
for
me
the models. The
sick.
new models are extreme, very nice. I mean, the independent games that Forge will do,
Mm.
for me, are leagues ahead of what the main Games
Yeah.
Workshop are doing. So everything that Forge World are doing, which is Blood Bowl, Necromunda, there's Horus Heresy on the horizon. There's a new box set coming up for there. They know how to put together a box set, and they really support it as well. I mean,
Do
if you look at how wide the range is now for Blood Bowl and Necromunda when you go into Warhammer World, there's been so much releases for it. And what I like about both those games as well is there's a legacy system, so your team evolve, you get quite invested. So
Yeah,
your star players get more skills. In Necromunda, they
It's
get different
RPG,
weapons.
isn't
and
it?
that.
Basically.
Yeah, and what I like about that is when when your player gets killed on the field, you feel that loss. You know, because you
Yeah.
realize how long it took to build him up to that skill set.
Mm.
Whereas in the other game systems, when you lose a marine, you lose a marine. You know, next game it's reset and
Yeah.
he's there again.
I do really like the RPG. I've never played one on a board game, but as a concept, it's the games I like the most, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And of course, Blood
I mean,
Bowl's like
depending on how
hardcore.
open your neighbors are, Blood Bowl is a brilliant. Like I said, it's the buy-in for the main box set is about £80 from an independent, which is nothing for 2 teams, and that's it. That'll keep you going.
I don't know if they'll even want to play a game, so it's going to be an interesting one. You know, they're like modern professionals. You know, they're like young people who, you know, just
But
sophisticated.
they said they want to play board games. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone likes board games, don't they? It's just they did say they want to like buy some Pokemon and paint them. Like there's some like on Etsy or whatever. They've got some resin
Okay.
Pokemon. So, but I wouldn't mind a game. It would be a good reason to actually do it as well, wouldn't it? Basically.
And we could always talk. I mean, I'm at Warhammer World this weekend having a game, but we always talk about getting together at Warhammer World. If you pick up a team, I can play you.
There we go. Once every 4 months, build up our. It's just slow progress. Is the Forge World stops still that really small section, or they've redone Warhammer World?
It's been redone. I don't know when the last time you went, but it's been redone. And I went last
6 years
weekend
ago?
again.
7 years ago.
Yeah, it's been redone at least twice since then.
Oh.
But I went last week, and they've knocked it all through. So now the retail section is huge, and
Oh, really?
it's impressive. Yeah, you'll be surprised how big the range is once you go into the Forge World
It's amazing.
area and you look at the Necromunda, even Aeronauticus, which has come out, and you look at the Blood Bowl. I guarantee you'll be surprised at how much there is there for it.
Well, when I went there, the Warlord Titan had just been released. So, you know, the really big one, and they had that. Oh, in fact, hold on. Yeah, right. So this is. Do you remember this shop? What it looked like?
Yeah, I was there last week. I mean,
no, but the way in this structure, like,
yeah, it's been knocked through. It's bigger now.
Is it? It had like that was the till. It was really quite thin, wasn't it?
Yeah, but also there's a lot more product on the shelves. A lot more.
Yeah. Look, you fucking hell.
Is that your wife with you?
Yeah. She had ginger hair back then.
I bet she was thrilled, wasn't she, to be there for the day?
She was there with my sister. They were all right, actually. They seemed to. Well, they had each other, didn't they? So this.
You know what? You know what? Your wife and your sister going with you to Warhammer World for the day. That's love. That is.
Well,
right.
I needed someone to fucking go with. So, yeah, look, there they are, loving it.
Yeah, you can tell from. I presume that's your sister.
Yeah.
Her face expression tells a million words.
She was fucking slim back then. Look at us. We're both super slim. This though, look at that. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, this is us going into the exhibition. But yeah, I was also bloody slim there as well. I think we'd just come back from Austria, so obviously we were going to be a bit. But yeah, so this.
Ironically enough, you wear the same top as well.
Yeah, that is quite funny, isn't it? It's only 7 years old, mate, and that was an old top then.
You do have other tops, don't you? That's...
I don't really deal with. I like to buy my clothes once and then run them into the ground. I don't have those jeans anymore though. They're actually quite nice jeans. Interesting. The boards are really good at Warhammer World. Are they still good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
They're better now, I would say.
Really? Than this bloody hell.
Yeah, because what they do is the ones they use for the photo, the photos in White Dwarf. As soon as they finish, they put them onto the gaming table.
That is cool. I'd like that a lot.
So,
look here, you can see the she's fuming. She's like, don't try and upsell him. He's trying to sell me a picture, and I was probably going to buy it.
Well, to be honest, I think a lot of people were thinking we're hitting our targets today with Jamie coming to Warhammer World.
Well, this was probably right. I didn't buy much though, actually, because I think I didn't really.
You thought I saved money on my top because I'll keep the top for 7 years. Yeah. I'll spend the money I've saved
on Forge World. She would love it. It is thrilling actually looking through like the different seeing them all there like is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll have to get a Blood Bowl team or something painted up. We'll have to meet up, have a game,
do a special.
And then what we'll go around and we'll do a special. Yeah, you can. Yeah. You can't take video there, but you can take photos, and
I can do moving photos.
We'll do our chronicle. I mean, I'm fortunate. Like I said, I live 35 minutes away from there, so I often forget. Yeah, I often forget. Like, if I need something GW, I'll pop down to Warhammer World and get it.
Show off.
And there was a point when I was playing there when I was heavily into GW and before kids. I was there weekly. I was playing there weekly, but and like I said, I'm back there on Sunday, giving a mate a game as well.
Yeah.
But so sometimes I forget how special it is, and it is.
It's cool. It's cool.
Pretty special. But because I've seen it so many times.
Does it feel more corporate now?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Does it feel more like uptight?
It's never really felt independent to me, Jamie.
Well,
it is their head office, isn't
it? Yeah. I mean, when I was there, you'd never know. People would love it. Yeah, fair enough.
Right. I can feel the drugs wearing off.
Yep. So... We're 15 minutes over, which isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Like, subscribe, and share. I'm so glad we're over that stuff now. We're not in it for that, are we?
Yeah. No, if we were in it for that, it would have stopped a long time ago. And we'll see you in a fortnight.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Right. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Bye.